We have completed 1/4 of the year 2022. To me, this is amazing because I can flash back to, 1980, and it seems relatively recent to me. I can remember events in my life in 1980 when I was around 30 years old. And of course, they're not fresh memories, but they're still vibrant, clear memories of things that happened that year. And so, in terms of time and space, it's a continuum for sure, but it's all relative how we perceive it. In terms of music, I'm astonished at how bad the current state of affairs of popular music is today, what's called pop music. And that's the current music that's most popular, that people tend to be listening to, perhaps even still on the radio. I guess if people still play radio, or different variations of radio today, all the other streaming services they have, and whatnot. The music that you hear when you're out and about in shopping malls or stores or restaurants, when you're looking at social media and people are posting things. And of course, I don't watch television anymore. I gave that up 6 years ago. But if you're still watching television, I'm sure a lot of this so-called pop music is still being played on television programming of various types. And I think to account for this, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, people have gotten lazy in terms of songwriting. The songwriting royalties really shrunk over the years. People don't get paid nearly as much to write a tune. So there's not as much motivation to write a quality song. And number two, people are depending on computers today to write songs for them. A lot of it's just derivative, rehashed. I mean, George Carlin has a wonderful rant. It starts great, it ends poorly, but it starts great. He's talking about there's too many songs. We have too many songs, too much music, and we don't need any more. And I'm not sure he was totally right about that, but in one sense, I kind of agree with him. I don't think there's much new music being written today, song-wise, that's very good. And I consider myself a bit of an eclectic connoisseur of music. I love music. I appreciate quality music. I think there's really only two kinds of music. There's good music and bad music. And if it's mediocre, it's actually bad. It's either got to be good music or it's not good. That's just the way I look at it. So if I hear music today and it makes me feel good and it lights me up and somehow it touches some part of me and my soul and my heart, it makes me emotionally feel something, then I consider it good music. Lyrics can make a difference in a song, but they don't have to have lyrics. In fact, many times I prefer music nowadays without lyrics. I find lyrics can convey a message, of course, with the words that can be important, but it's not that necessary for the music to really touch me, to have words. Music today is just very homogenized. It's not really very creative and fresh. I guess it's easy to dismiss the current music today, being an old timer as I am. And this is very common. People reach a certain age and they look back on the new music of the day and of the day they're in, that is, while they're old. And they say, this music today is not as good as the old music. And one very true sense of the word, that's going to always be that way. The music that people are conditioned by, they grow up with, that they're used to, that they respond to and bond with in some way emotionally, that's going to be the music that they like the most in their life, I believe. So the music that really touches me the most would be the music of my youth. But that being said, I've enjoyed lots and lots of songs and music all through my life, in the decades of my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, my 50s. And somewhere in my 60s, I just started noticing I wasn't enjoying the pop music of the day that much anymore. It seemed really watered down, really contrived, really corny. Maybe it's always been that way, I don't know. But it seems a lot worse now. Plastic. Where are the really creative talents and artists that really are forging new territory, new turf? Everything today is either electronic dance music, rap music, whiny ballads, and that's pretty much all there is. I don't really hear any new genres of music being created as they were throughout my lifetime. Well, I grew up with pop music, rock and roll, rock music as it evolved. Rock is just almost dead today, I guess. I saw techno music come in, country rock music, folk music. Of course, when I discovered jazz, there's all different variations and styles of jazz, even classical music. Once I opened my mind to that, it's a lot of classical music, like so-called classical music. It's really all much more complex than just that one term, classical music, but chamber music, orchestral music, ambient music is a favorite of mine. That's mostly what I play today throughout the day. Ambient music of different types, tonal music such as solfeggio frequencies. And then occasionally I indulge in some popular music. And typically I go back and dip the well in older songs through those years, through those decades, the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and early 2000s. There was still a lot of good music being made. And I was still going to the CD store every week, looking for the latest music that was out, shopping for new CDs. And then something happened. CDs went away around 2010, pretty much. Downloads became the thing. Then downloads went away, and now it's streaming. And now you have access to 90 million songs, and they only play a handful of songs anywhere you go today, and most of it's crap. It really is. This really isn't a lot of good new music being made today, but there is a lot of good music still out there. And so I'll keep going to the well and finding that good music. I won't tolerate bad music. I just won't tolerate it.